pass from Havili was magic. The shift on for Crotty. Boom, far down you go, Quackett Smith. Me, oh my, I have enjoyed that. Yes, boy.
Sit back, relax, put your belt on, enjoy the show.
Locks. We're jumping back to locks, and then we'll round it out with the fly halves. Locks, top picks. Fergus Lee Warner. Man speaks for himself. 40.4 average, 0.54 points per minute. He's a back rower who plays in the locks, basically.
We're having him at lock again this year.
We are having him at lock again. Look, he just played a trial game at lock, and the Force do have a plethora of good back rowers, actually. So
Not terribly
many locks. So I think, despite, I'm sure he would want to be playing.
They're even thinking about picking up Blake and never should be playing Super Rugby again.
Blakey never getting the starting jersey. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, look, he never been talked about on this podcast again. How about that? So anyway, Fergus Lee Warner, it doesn't matter whether he's playing in the back row or the locks in terms of his fantasy points.
Work rate.
It's not like he's breaking off those scrums super fast. He's a work rate player. Big carrying role. Look, they had plenty of big carriers last year. Stander, Stowers,
and him. That's it.
Fair enough.
Weapon back row.
Yep. But you pull me across. I know. Look, you want to see my beautiful face in camera? You can check us out on YouTube, just in case I hadn't mentioned that already. Yeah. So he was a top prop, top lock rather, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is again.
Did you just say prop again?
I did. It's my default. Default setting. When you get tired, you just go back to prop. Yeah.
Push, mate.
Sam Whitelock, a name we've probably all heard of. Sam Whitelock. Look, 32.4 average. He came in the end of the season. He's just Mr. Consistency. He's going to be starting. I mean, he's been starting for the Crusaders and the All Blacks for I don't even know how many years now, since Nelson was born, probably. And look, he'll be partnering Scotty Barrett's one of my next top locks. Scott was the captain for the Crusaders last year. With Sam Whitelock kind of on sabbatical.
Was injured for basically all of Super Rugby Aotearoa though, right?
Was injured though for pretty much the whole thing. But look, he kind of just started coming into fantasy form in the year before that, in 2019.
Yeah.
Years prior, he'd kind of not been a very good fantasy player. But no, I'd certainly have both first of all, they're Crusaders. Second of all, they're going to be starting all the time. They're the All Blacks locks, Sam Whitelock and Scott Barrett to do well. And lastly, the third All Black lock. So we have Fergus Lee Warner and the three All Black locks. Patrick Tuipulotu, captain of the Blues. He had an average. It was only 25.9. But look, I mean, the locks don't have particularly high averages. So as the captain, he'll be playing bulk minutes. And let's just, Patrick Tuipulotu is always going to get you somewhere between 25 and 30, I reckon, in terms of the averages by the end of the season. So he's who I'd be going with. Moving to biggest value increases, Trevor Hosea, player we're excited about. He kind of, I guess, came out of nowhere from the under-20s into the Rebels last year and into the Wallabies. So we just happen to have no locks in the country. And
no Australian locks in the country.
And we're very excited about him. So huge raps on him. He's gone through a good full year of Super Rugby, of Wallabies training. He's put on some size, and he's quite clearly the number one lock at the Rebels and has a big role to play. So I think he's due for a big year. Jack Wetton from the Highlanders is my other one for a value increase. He's signed with the Tars. Thank God Captain Mudd's gone. And
Wetton replacing the wet pillow, mate.
It's a thing of beauty. So, yeah, he was playing really well for the Highlanders, just kind of no-nonsense work rate second rower. So we're expecting him to start every game for the Tars.
He's a big body as well.
And do a job.
The Waratahs are looking to play, as we said, that sort of loose dynamic game where they're going to have those forwards working hard in tight to be able to give them the ability to do it. So I think that's going to really benefit someone like him. They're going to use him as a bit of a battering ram in tight.
Yeah. No, which will be good. Biggest value drop. Harry has real trouble saying his name, so I'll ask you to say his name, Harry.
Caden Neville.
Oh, he's
hey, ladies and gentlemen, 2 a.m. He pulls it out. Catter and Neville. Big Caden. Look, just a big body. The Brumbies brought him back.
Big K.
Just Big K, special K.
It starts with C, man. Big C.
Did I say Big K?
You did.
Oh, well, God, there you go.
Guys, it's 2 a.m.
His value is decreasing because of the likes of James Tucker brought across from New Zealand, and Nick Frost, who also is I have down as a smoky for this year. I've talked enough about Nick Frost in the previews of the other podcasts. Really excited about him. Also, junior coming out of the junior Wallabies. I think this will be the year he'll get a real push on. And
the rangy giraffe, mate.
The rangy giraffe. Yep, I think we could see big things from him as a smoky. Number of valuable options. Literally, I'm leaving it at the 4. As I said, Fergus Lee Warner, both Crusaders locks, Samuel White lock, Scott Barrett, and Patrick Tuipulotu. Beyond them, like I said, there's a few guys. Trevor Hosea, Jack Wedden, just Mr. Consistence. But lock, I have to say, is probably the least exciting position in fantasy for mine.
Especially at the moment.
Well, you basically just want Fergus Lee Warner.
Pretty much, yeah. If
he can replicate that. I mean, we think he can, but I
think he can, yeah.
I mean, look, I've got another 2 players in Smokies when we get to it, but the Volp, 1st and 8th. 16th.
You stuffed it, didn't you?
Cool. Well, the top of Fergus Lee Warner was on 40.4, and the 16th member was on 18.6. So that
22.
That is a Volp of 22.
That's quite big.
Which is quite big, but as we said,
let's say it's an 8-point drop from 1st to 2nd, which means it's actually a 14-point drop from 2nd to 16th.
Cool.
So then it's less than a point a position. So it's actually not big if you don't get Fergus Lee Warner.
I like it. And Smokies. I mentioned Nick Frost. I'm excited about him. Otherwise, a player Harry's very excited about Manaki Selby Ricketts for the Highlanders. We think that this could be his year too, particularly with a few of the Landers moving on. Josh Dixon and him. I think is he a little injured to start season or not? Manaki, no,
a little bit injured.
No, not to my knowledge.
Fantastic. Well, he's going to do some injuring to some other players on the field, and I think this is really his opportunity, and he could be in for a huge year. So, in terms of locks, as we said, not very exciting. If you want someone to take a gamble on him,
well, they've lost Parry Parkinson as well. Right?
They've lost Perry Chicken, the big man, the big fro. So it's really Josh Dixon and Manaki. I wish it was Amanaki, but it's just Manaki. So very good. And look, my other smoky is Tim Anstey, Sevens player. I know we harp on about a lot of the Sevens players who've come across, but
continue to disappoint.
They continue to not get a run, basically. But...
No, the issue is that they're Australian Sevens players. They're not Kiwi Sevens players.
Yes, that's true.
Look, the argument was for at least the Melbourne Rebels Sevens players was the coach was trying to win a short competition, so he didn't know them well enough to give them a chance. Whereas now he's had that full season, as well as the preseason. He's got a lot of history training with them to know that they're up for it. Yep. And Tim Anstey's put on size. He's obviously been working his ass off to this opportunity. He's a good athlete. I think it's a pretty good smoky pick.
I think it's good. I'm a fan.
And as I said, look, as we said earlier, the Force, they don't really have any locks, which is why Fergus Lee Warner's in there. And Tim Anstey I reckon Tim Anstey will be partnering with him. Look, he certainly had to put on a bit of size because in Sevens, obviously, you run a lot leaner. He's still a big, tall bloke, very, very quick, but he certainly had to put on a bit of size. But I think he's got a motor. He's going to go all game. And it's kind of like that same kind of thing. The Force will almost be rocking 2 back rower locks.
Yeah, there's a chance we see one of those 2 in that number 6 jersey as well. So, I mean, they're between those 2, they've got 3 potential positions.
Yeah. So that's locks.